Hi everyone, I'm sitting in my living room at 1 o'clock in the morning. How are you? This isn't going to be a long video. I literally just feel like talking. I really don't have that much to talk about. I did finally edit my Who is Haruto video that I've had done for months now, that I've never put out. I just didn't have the energy or the will to do it. But I guess everything has its reasons because while watching that video, like watching it back and just editing it and stuff like that, it's like I want to be her again. Just looking at my energy and just how I was feeling and just remembering how happy I was and how um, full of joy and just hopeful for the future and just I felt really good and just seeing the happiness behind my eyes, the still exploration of self, um, and the readiness to take on whatever was next. But overall, just the joy that was in my heart and in my face and in my energy, I felt pulled in by my own video. And it's like, damn, I want to get back to that girl. But at the same time, I feel like if I haven't gone through or didn't go through what I'm going through now, I wouldn't have the outlook I have now, even though that was just a few months ago and I'm still going through stuff. Um, I feel like I've still grown a lot and I have a better understanding of what's going to happen next. Or I don't even want to say just a better understanding, but just a better acceptance. I think that's a real big thing. Biggest thing is an acceptance of what's going to happen now. And weirdly enough, even though I feel like I'm teetering back and forth on the edge of everything, um, I still feel like I know myself better, more, not just on a surface level, but even on the dark. What the hell is that? It's like I think I got some Clorox on my sock. Anyway, um, yeah, just thinking about what's. I'm sorry, I lost my train of thought. Shit. Understanding myself better, even the dark side, and really trying to grow to accept that and not be so harsh on myself um, about that. Um, so, yeah, I'm really grateful for this moment, and I'm saying this very tenderly. Because I'm still working through things. But I must say, Havutu has really stepped back a lot. I feel like everyone, everything, like everything and everyone and every energetic being or sense of self or whatever that I was dealing with before has all stepped back and is quiet as fuck. Like, so what you gonna do now, bitch? What you gonna do now, honey? So what the hell is that? Oh, it's Netflix. I'm sorry. I'm looking at my notifications. But yeah. What are you gonna do now? How are you going to change your own life? And I'm just seeing things a whole hell of a lot differently. I understand better what I have to do. I'm still afraid, but I know the truth and just really have accepted that this is what it is. This is what I'm gonna have to do to change. Um, I feel very. I was gonna say cut off, but that's definitely not the word. I feel very distant from my work, from my life right now, from being in this house, which I'm really grateful for. I feel like I still want the comforts of it, but I'm tired of living the same way, you know? And I just keep thinking about how can I change my life? What can I do? Where can I go? Who can I talk to that can inspire something differently in me and help me and inspire a drive that I don't have. I don't have a lot of drive at all. I have bursts of inspiration, and then when that inspiration is gone, the drive is gone with it. Um, I'm hoping for wherever I end up next to be in a place where I can be around people who um, I can learn from. I mean, I can really learn something from people who want to see me win. And I say that gingerly because people who want to see, look, when the universe wants to see you win, it's going to do everything in its power to make sure that you're pushed in that direction, no matter what the fuck that might look like. Um, yeah, no matter what it may look like. Um, but I really, really just want to get back to the spiritual freedom that that woman in that video was feeling. But with the wisdom that I have now, I feel propelled to dive into spirituality and mysticism again on a deeper level. I feel like compelled to dive deeper into it. I feel more powerful than ever, even though my mind is still trying to register that, you know. I still feel very powerful. Um, and I feel like it's also been a me being completely and 100% honest with myself in my writings. Um, Debating on whether I want to talk about it or not, because I don't want to jinx it, but I don't think there's a way I could jinx this. Because I feel so compelled to do so. And this is more than just bursts of inspiration. This is literally putting my whole self on pages in a book. I'm writing a book, y'all. I'm writing a book. I can't even believe that I'm admitting to it because I feel like I've been writing a book for years and I never talk about it because I don't want to jinx it. Um, Initially, at the beginning of the year, I did start writing a book and it was a self help book. How ironic, right? Because I need all the self help I can get. It was kind of like a self help book. I was just basically writing down all the ideas and how I wanted it to go, and started writing a few pages. And I just kind of left it alone for a while because inspiration was gone. But then all of this stuff happened, and I realized that the only way I was gonna be able to move past my own issues is if I be 100% and completely and totally and utterly, brutally honest with myself, brutally honest with who I am right now, who I've been, and where I want to be. And I honestly feel like this is some of the best writing I've ever done in my life thus far. And I've written a lot. I have books upon books upon books, pages upon pages, and Word documents by the thousands. I've been writing ever since I was in like fifth grade. When I was in fifth grade, I wanted to write a book, and I started writing a book, and I wrote 10 pages of it, and I was so proud of myself. And when I was in high school, I wrote these sex books, like these sex short stories, even though I had never had sex yet. And of course, the horny teenagers that were around me, including myself, were like fascinated with it because most of them never had sex either. Not most of them, but some of them didn't. And people found out that I was writing these books. Oh my, is that my hair? Oh shit, my hair came out. One of my, where's that? Where's that? There it is. Oh, okay. I see you. I see ya. I'll have to fix that. But anyways, yeah, I'd write these little sex books in high school, y'all. Crazy, right? And I write poems. I wrote a lot of poetry. I draw a lot. I thought I was going to be a fashion designer. At one point, I took journalism in high school because I thought I'd be a journalist, but then I realized how extremely fucking boring it was because I wasn't free to write what I wanted. I had to write about whatever topic that they put in my hands to write. And while I enjoyed the writing, I didn't enjoy not being able to freely write. So I thought I'd be a writer of some sort. Like I said, I did think I was going to be a journalist for a while, and then I kind of gave up on that. And but now I feel like I finally understand the basis of it. Also, one thing that I was talking to my mom about the other day was trying to figure out what's so special about me. And I know that may sound crazy, but I know we've all had those thoughts before, where you, especially if you're an artist and you think about the stuff that you like to do or draw or whatever form of art you use, and you see everybody start comparing yourself to other people, which is never good, but it's human. And you start thinking to yourself, well, how am I different from all of these hundreds of thousands of other artists in the world or millions of other artists in the world? How how do I stand out? How do I become the best version of myself? What how can I possibly gain the attention of millions of people when with the things that I have to say when nobody cares about it? When you know you have these Instagram models and I was like I'd watch videos about girls who I made $1 million in a year, or I got a six-figure income in a year with my fashion line or my makeup line or whatever, and I'm looking at these girls, I'm like, well, of course you did. You're fucking gorgeous. You look like you came straight off of Instagram, a runway, a magazine somewhere. You don't even look like, some of these women don't even look like they even like, just super freaking gorgeous. And while I feel like I am gorgeous, I do realize that I am considered average in the traditional sense of beauty, which I don't think I'm average. I think I'm fucking gorgeous, but it's probably conceited. I've gotten that comment a lot when I was younger. You're so conceited. And I'm like, you're so unconfident. No, but yeah, it's like if I think of myself as a standalone, just how I view myself in general, physically, spiritually combined, I feel like I'm extremely fucking gorgeous. But if I compare myself against other people, I'm just average. And you should never compare yourself against anyone, but you do have to consider what people like, because people are attracted to traditional standards of beauty, and that much is true. So if I'm, pretty average, I feel like I'm fucking gorgeous, but if I'm pretty, I'm a pretty girl. And my body isn't super special, and my I don't have extremely gorgeous eyes, or I don't have some sort of illness or something wrong with me. I feel like we're in a world of extremes now, where you either have to be extremely unusually gorgeous or have something really strange about your face or your look, or there has to be something wrong with you where you have a very different or even deformed look. And that's no shade to anybody, but that's just the truth. Like any story that you look at or any YouTube video that you watch is either of some sort of, some person that's extremely beautiful, or there's a person who looks so different and unusual that you just got to see what they're about, what they're talking about, or and I do get caught up in like the medical mysteries, like things that people have these strange diseases and they have different deformities, and you wonder how did that happen and what is the science behind it, and what is the person like behind it, and they're just regular people, but just curious. It just piques your curiosity. So how can I attract people to what it is that I have to say, or how can what is my thing that no one else has over me? I mean, I feel like I'm a great singer, but even my voice, I feel, is caught somewhere in between. mm, what's the word? I can make my voice sound like pretty much anything and anybody, but my natural voice is very old. It's very old and very um not popular. You hear all the popular little girl high pitched voices. You know what I'm saying? Ariana Grande type stuff. And but my voice is very old, like a voice that you would hear in the background of a 50s romance movie or something. So it's like there's not many people in the world that care to hear that kind of stuff anymore. And I, have to realize what is for me is not for everyone, and that's fine. But what is the one thing that I can think of that stands out amongst everything and everyone? And even if my writing isn't the most descriptive and the most, you know, gut wrenching with words and stuff like that, what I feel like I have to say, what I feel like I have to bring to this world, excuse me, with my words and with my heart and what I have in my heart and my head to say, is I feel something extremely revolutionary that is meant to change something in this world, to change people's minds, to change something of the dynamics of this world. And I know that's what I'm here to do. So I feel like, well, if I can't get them through, the social media version, or, if I don't know, I feel like my words is what's going to take me where I want to go. I feel like things that I have to say, the honesty, the brutal honesty that I feel like we all feel deep down inside, is what's going to really set me apart, but most importantly, open up something in people's minds that wasn't there before, hopefully. And I feel like that's where I make my mark and I'm special, to my own opinion. So that's what I'm doing. I'm writing. Writing away whatever comes to mind. Another thing that I've always wanted to do, I have a lot of stories. I am a very 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 imaginative person. I have stories in my head that I've never written down because they have always been my solace, and the only escape that I've ever had from the world was daydreaming and making up stories. Been making up stories ever since I had Barbie dolls. I would make up soap operas, and those same soap operas have turned into this elaborate world where I have characters that are completely developed in my head and have very specific backgrounds and very specific feelings and emotions and feelings of despair and triumph and just love in general, two in particular that I've dealt with over the years and have changed their story, and even things that have come to me within my own story, inklings that I hear about my own life. And sometimes I have things that I want to say, but um, instead of just saying it, because sometimes saying it is not as easy, or maybe it's just plain old boring, I'll make up a story about it to explain the complexity of it in a different world. And I want to bring that to people's minds. I don't think I could bring myself to write a whole novel, like a whole novel. I don't think, maybe one day, but I really like short stories. I don't like things that drag on forever. This one, like, I love reading books, but I really hate when I get a book that's extremely long-winded. It's like, dude, just get to the fucking point. And I know it's long-winded because I'll read the like the first few sentences of the paragraph, like, okay, I know where this shit is gonna go. Skip all the way down to the top of the next page and find out exactly what I was wanting to know on the next page. I'm like, so this whole page was a bunch of fluff. I mean, I feel like if you're gonna put in fluff, at least make it really, at least make it something worth reading. Like, bring me somewhere that just ties in perfectly with what it is you're trying to say, because all that extra words, and I get you trying to be descriptive and just explaining everything in such a detailed way. It's like, let me make up my own mind about how this image looks. Give me a general look and feeling, and I'll make up the rest, because you're doing too much. I don't even get to be imaginative in this story, because you're telling me too much, and I just want to know what the fuck happened next. I'll make up the rest myself. That's the fun of it. But anyway, so I have no idea when this book will be finished. No idea. And I don't plan on making it, giving it a time or a date or anything like that. I'm not doing that. It's gonna be finished when it's finished. It's done when it's done. So I feel like it is going to be a full on adventure that may have volumes. But at least want to make the first book I write completely and totally transparent and honest, and hopefully can find a solution. Also, wanted to do. I'm not gonna know. I'm gonna leave that one alone, because that's just a thought. I'm gonna just, do what I do first and see how it works out. So I'm gonna get off. I talk too much, y'all. I'm sorry. I don't have anyone to talk to, and I realize that I begin to get long-winded. But this is my channel, my space where the only place where I can be long-winded and not piss people off. I get to say exactly what I want to say without feeling too judged, or without really giving a damn about being judged. If you watch, you watch. If you don't, you don't. This is really extremely for me. But I still love you, whoever watches. I love you. Thank you so much for watching. And I will talk to you soon. I'm gonna post my video soon of who Havutu is. So tune in for that for sure. All right. Peace.